The stars were still visible in the thin atmosphere of Aurelia, 9, when the distress signal finally died. For 3 Earth months, the beacon had blinked red across interstellar frequencies, a dying pulse from an alien ship half buried in the rocky dust of a forgotten moon. But no one came, not until Lieutenant Maia Rennick of Earth's Exo-Rescue Corps arrived alone in her battered scout vessel, Larkspur. She wasn't supposed to be there. Her assigned route was 3 systems over. But something in the intermittent, indecipherable alien signal pulled at her, a desperation she couldn't ignore. She touched down cautiously, her boots crunching against black sand. The wreckage before her was immense. A crescent-shaped ship fractured open like a rib cage. Strange markings adorned its sides, softly glowing even in death. It had been months, maybe longer, but something still breathed within it. Maia's helmet comm hissed static. Atmosphere unstable. Radiation levels nominal. Proceeding inside. The moment she entered the shattered hull, she smelled them. Feral, musky, coppery with blood. Her pulse quickened. She unholstered her phase rifle, but kept the barrel down. The interior was a cathedral of silence, punctuated by distant shuffles and whimpers. Lights flickered. Alien consoles blinked in unreadable languages. Then she saw it. A creature. No, a wolf. At least, that's what her human mind registered first. Massive, silver gray, fur slicked with blood. And beside her, curled against her side, 3 pups. Maia froze. The mother raised her head, ears flattened, fangs bared. Her eyes, liquid gold and full of pain, met Maia's. She didn't growl. She didn't move. She was too weak. The display on Maia's arm scrolled through a rapid analysis. Species unknown. Vital signs critical. Offspring stable but malnourished. Maia lowered her rifle. You're not hostile, are you? The mother blinked slowly, as if understanding. She knelt down, pulling out a portable med kit. You weren't the threat. You were the cargo. Or maybe the crew. Over the next few hours, Maia worked silently. She set up a biodome around the wreckage's interior, stabilized the atmosphere, and began administering aid. The wolf mother barely moved, except to nudge her pups toward the rehydrated protein Maia offered. They squealed and fed. She didn't. By nightfall, if a moon orbit could even have night, Maia sat beside the mother, recording her report. Species appear sentient. No aggression shown. Seems abandoned. She looked over at the wolf, whose breaths were now shallow. They left you here to die. The next morning, the mother was dead. Maia buried her beneath the black soil, using plasma cutters to carve a grave from the stone. The pups cried for her, tiny howls that echoed across the crater plain. She didn't leave. Weeks passed. Maia named them Ash, Flicker, and Stone. Ash, the boldest, had jet black fur and was the first to walk to Maia's hand. Flicker was the smallest, her fur a dancing gold, her steps delicate and quiet. And Stone, solid, serious, his eyes watchful. They grew quickly, too quickly, their limbs elongated, becoming too precise for mere animals. Their eyes, gold like their mother's, watched Maia as if studying her. They began to mimic her in movement and tone. One evening, Ash touched Maia's wrist and the guttural sound mimicked her voice. Stay. Maia dropped her food pack in shock. Did you just... Stay, Ash repeated. Flicker and Stone echoed him, each with a different cadence. Not mimicry. Learning. She trained them. Slowly, carefully. They understood gesture, tone, and finally, speech. They could speak simple phrases. They could operate simple tools. They remembered everything. But their mother's death haunted Maia. She often found herself staring at the stars above, wondering why the aliens, Whoever had sent these beings had abandoned them. Why would they leave sentient creatures to die? One day the answer arrived. It came in the form of a ship. Sleek, silent, it hovered above the moon without touching ground. Its voice cracked through Maia's calms in a language she didn't recognize, then translated. Human, you are in possession of classified specimens. Release them. She stepped in front of the young wolves, now the size of full-grown dogs, intelligent, aware. Ash growled low behind her. I'm not handing them over. The voice was cold. They were terminated as failures. You interfere with a closed program. They're not failures, Maia spat. They're children. A hum charged the air. A weapon? A tractor beam? Then a flash. Stone jumped forward, snarling, positioning himself between Maia and the hovering ship. Flicker followed, standing tall, growling words in a broken growl hiss. We stay, mother. There was a long pause. Then the voice again. They have bonded. Unpredictable. Protocol breached. The ship vanished in a flash of light. Maia never heard from the aliens again. She returned to Earth with the trio months later. It took nearly a year for the authorities to accept the wolves as non-hostile. A decade before they were recognized as sentient allies. Ash became a scout for planetary exploration. Flicker worked with children, sensing emotion with eerie accuracy. Stone remained at Maia's side, her protector, her conscience, her reminder. She never found out why their species had been abandoned, whether it was because they were too wild or too human. But Maia gave them something their creators hadn't. A second chance. Epilogue, 20 years later. Maia sat on her porch overlooking the red sands of Mars Colony Delta. Ash had just returned from a mission on Europa, covered in frost but grinning. Flicker played with two Martian-born toddlers, gently nudging a ball toward them. Stone stood beside her, ever silent. The stars above blinked as they always had. One of the children, a girl with thick braids and Martian dust on her face, pointed up. Miss Maia, will the aliens come back with them? Maia looked to the sky, then to Stone. His golden eyes met hers, calm, deep, and very, very wise. No, Maia said. They had their chance. Stone turned and licked her hand. And we gave him another.